It's a symptom of a deeper root cause. And that root cause is based in stress. And when we assess every aspect of your life, your relationship with yourself, the environment that you live in, and how you show up in your life, we can get a pretty accurate picture of what areas of your life are contributing to your need to pick and pull and bite at your body. And when we can get really clear on what aspects of your life are contributing to this, then we can have a really good idea of what you can do to help yourself to heal in a sustainable way. This isn't just using tricks and tips to try and make yourself stop. This is about you devoting yourself to you, to your healing, to your growth, to becoming the version of you that is the most authentic and confident and secure and sure version of you, the version of you that absolutely loves being who you are and being in your skin. And we can't achieve that through just focusing on the symptom, on one problem. We want to look at where it's coming from. After 3 years of devoting myself to helping this community heal from chronic skin picking and hair pulling and nail biting and all kinds of BFRBs, I found 5 questions that tell me everything I need to know about you and what you need to do to heal. I'm going to share those 5 questions with you, what they are, what they mean for you, and how you can use this information to help you to heal today. I'm also going to share with you a very special opportunity that is only available until the end of this week. Now, if you are listening to this episode sometime in the future, it's okay. I also have a backup plan for you, but make sure you stick around till the end to find out what it is. Before I share the 5 questions with you, why do we want to make a holistic assessment of where we're at with chronic skin picking? What does that even mean? It essentially means rather than just looking at the problem, which is the skin picking or hair pulling or nail biting, we are looking at you as an entire person because you are so much more than this behavior. And there is so much more to you, and there is so much more to your healing than just stopping. This assessment treats your body-focused repetitive behavior like a symptom. That because it is a symptom. It's a symptom of a deeper root cause. And that root cause is based in stress. We want to look at where it's coming from. And this as well, it leaves us feeling so empowered, inspired. It leaves us full of hope. It leaves us feeling like we actually have a pathway forward because you can grow. You can heal. Maybe right now you can't just stop, but you can grow as a human being. And that is what healing from a body-focused repetitive behavior requires from us. And what I'm going to share with you next is going to help you to do that in a very grounded, tangible way that makes sense, that takes away a lot of the guesswork. Because there is a lot of stuff that we know we could probably do, but it's really hard to know, well, where do I actually start now? What do I focus on that's going to help me the most right now? Where we can feel secure in knowing, okay, I'm going to focus on this, and this is going to help me. Growth is painful. Change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. And these 5 questions I'm going to share with you are going to help you to find where you feel stuck so that you can finally move forward towards a place where you feel like you truly belong, both in your life and within yourself. I'm going to share these 5 questions with you now and what they say about you. And as you're listening, I encourage you to take what resonates and leave the rest. Notice what jumps out at you. Because whatever jumps out at you, whatever hits home, is something that you need to hear, something that maybe you need to focus on or acknowledge or appreciate or take seriously. Question number 1 is, do you feel like you're on top of things or like you're constantly playing catch up? This sounds like a really inconsequential question, but if you feel like you're constantly playing catch up, it tells me a few things. It tells me that you are most likely a high achiever, that you struggle to slow down, that you at times struggle to prioritize yourself, and you have the feeling that you need to get everything done, and only then can you slow down and relax. If this resonates, if you feel like, yeah, I tend to get stuck in that go, go, go space, then the lesson that we want to learn from this question is learning to let go of external validation and start living for you. You are enough as you are. without getting all that stuff done. And just sit with that for a moment and let that settle in. What stands out to you? And I also want to say that having a busy life is not an excuse to be in a constant state of feeling like you don't have space for you and you don't have time to slow down and you don't have time to prioritize yourself. You can have a busy life and still choose yourself, still choose to live for you amongst that busyness. So the second question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you with self-care? And when I say self-care, I mean making sure that you eat properly throughout the day, making sure you drink enough water, making sure you move your body, whether that's exercise or a walk, making sure you socialize with people that care about you. Even if, and this is going off the last question, even if you feel like you're behind and you've got so many things going on and you don't have time, you still make sure that you eat well, you move, and you take care of yourself. This is self-care. And this is often from that first question where we don't prioritize ourselves and we prioritize getting shit done over taking care of ourselves. So self-care is in that context. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being really not that good, 10 being amazing, how are you with self-care? How are you in prioritizing yourself when you feel like you don't have time? Do you ground into yourself and do you show up and make sure that you are well taken care of? Or do you tend to let your own needs fall to the wayside to make sure that you take care of everyone else, you get all the things done that you need to get done, and only when that happens, then you can take care of you. Then you have the space to take care of you. But of course, that never really happens, does it? Now, when we let our own self-care fall by the wayside, this is we are telling ourselves through our own actions that we are unworthy, that we are unimportant, that we don't deserve good things until everyone else and everything else is taken care of. When we do take time for ourselves to give ourselves that basic self-care, despite all the things that are happening around us, we are showing ourselves through our own actions that we are deserving of good things, that we are deserving of love, of care, of compassion, of kindness, despite what's going on. This is how we slow down. Part of the reason why we get it stuck into this go, go, go is because we neglect ourselves. And it just fuels that cycle of, okay, if I can just get all this done, then I can take care of myself, then I can slow down, I can feel okay. But if we decide amongst that intensity to say, no, I need this and I deserve this and I'm worthy of this right now. That's how we truly create change right there. And when we do that, like I said, we are showing ourselves that we are enough, that we are worthy. We make ourselves feel cared for and loved despite whatever is going on outside of us. With this in mind, where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 with self-care? The third question is, how do you feel when you pick at your skin, bite at your skin, pull at your hair? Do you feel shame, frustration, embarrassment, self-judgment, exhaustion? Does it not have much of an emotional impact on you at all? How heavy is it? How much do you struggle with yourself afterwards? Whatever your answer is to that question, it tells us how loud your inner critic is, not just when you pick or bite or pull, but in any area of your life where you are not perfect, where you make mistakes, where you stumble, where you maybe quote unquote fail. This shows us how loud your inner critic is, how harsh you are on yourself, which tells us whether you are living more in a state of survival or in a state of calm. If you have a very loud inner critic, you're probably living quite strongly in a state of survival. If the inner critic doesn't come up much at all, if you don't have much of an emotional reaction to when you pick, if you're able to relatively easily move on, if you don't feel that heaviness and that shame, I guarantee you've probably put in a lot of work to get yourself to that space. So I want to acknowledge you for that. And it also shows that you have started to access that kindness, that compassion, that flexibility with yourself. This, rather than being rigid and expecting perfection, you're able to expand in and allow yourself to be imperfect at times. When we have a loud inner critic, when we are living in survival, it is harder to feel okay. It is hard to feel like we're good enough, like we're worthy. And this just perpetuates the cycle of the last two questions. Our inner critic makes us feel like we are unworthy. And so even if we want to take care of ourselves, we feel like you don't deserve that. You need to try harder, work harder, get more things done, achieve more before you're allowed to take care of yourself like that. So our inner critic is just reinforcing this pattern that we're seeing of overachieving, of trying to get things done, of pushing ourselves really hard, of overgiving, of sacrificing our own well-being to try and mitigate that feeling of I'm just not good enough as I am right now. I'm not worthy of being deeply loved and being deeply cared for. And even if consciously we logically get that we are, on a deeper level, if we are playing out this pattern, there is a deeper part of us that doesn't believe that that's the truth. The change here is, the growth here in this area, the growth here is to cultivate a healthy relationship with your inner critic, because your inner critic is not bad. It's a wounded inner child that is very afraid and trying to keep you safe. So we're not trying to shun away this part of you. We're wanting to build a healthy relationship with this part of you so that it learns to trust you. And so when self-doubt or that inner criticism comes up, which is normal, it doesn't control us or dictate how we show up in our life. We're living in a state of calm and trust and security within ourselves rather than in a state of survival. And this helps us to reinforce this new belief of I am worthy of good things. I am worthy as I am. I am enough as I am. I'm allowed to be myself right now. I'm allowed to be imperfect. That's the growth right here. Take note of what is standing out to you. This is how you'll be able to get clearer on what it is that you can focus on in your own growth that will help you to heal in the long term. It won't get you instant gratification, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for something real. And whatever really speaks to you, to your heart, that is something to focus on. The fifth question, I'm going to ask you to give yourself a moment to envision something. What will life look like for you when you are free from chronic skin picking, nail biting, happily, or whatever BFRB that you have? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What comes to your mind? The more tangible your answer is to this question, the more connected you are to your empowered self. And when I say empowered self, I mean the version of you that we are working towards in this podcast, that you are working towards in your personal development, the version of you that you would love to be. Because you right now, you are a more empowered version of you 5 years ago. You are the version of you that 5 years ago you wanted to be. The reason why it's so important for us to be connected to this is because this is how we start to let go of external validation. This is how we start to live for ourselves. This is how we create our blueprint of how do I know that this is the right thing to be working on? Is this something that is going to help me to get closer to becoming my most empowered self, the next version of me? If it's a yes, then what you're doing is right. Then what you're doing is good, regardless what anyone else says or regardless what anyone else thinks it's right for you. This is how you connect to your intuition, how you become more certain in your decisions and what you're doing. This is how you let go of that uncertainty of, am I wasting time doing this? Is this really going to help me? And you ground into the knowing of this is right for me because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm working towards in myself. And I know this is going to help me get there. And it doesn't matter if no one else understands because I understand where this is taking me. And when you have a very tangible answer to that question of what will life look like? How will you feel when you're free from your BFRB? That shows me, and it shows you that you are connected to your empowered self. The less tangible our answer to that, the less connected we are. And by tangible, I mean you'll have answers like, I'll have a better relationship with myself, with my body, with my skin, with my hair. I'll be kinder to myself. I'll have better relationships with people where I'm more honest and more authentic. And you'll be able to say what that means for you. What does authentic mean to you? It means that I share my opinions. I'm less afraid of saying what I think. Rather than slipping into people pleasing, I feel secure in myself to speak up and say what I think, to share how I feel. I have really strong boundaries. These are really tangible things. Something that will be less tangible is, oh, I would just feel amazing. Everything will be better. That is super vague. It's great that you can feel that and you can connect to that, but it's very vague. And then for some of us, we don't have an answer. The idea of it, we just feel trapped and stuck. We have a sinking feeling. And this tells me that you have a lack of direction in your healing. And because you have a lack of direction, your old patterns have quite a lot of control over you. External factors influence you greatly. People's opinions, what they think, what people expect, what society expects, has a lot of sway on how you show up in your life. Because when we aren't connected to ourselves and who we want to become, it is hard to grow, because where do we grow? Who am I growing for? We want to be growing for ourselves, not because that's what would be better for other people, or that's what will get us the most validation and acknowledgement and praise from other people. As you've been picking up, all of these questions are sources of chronic stress. If we are not connected to our empowered self, that's a source of chronic stress, because we are going to feel stuck and trapped and a heavy sinking feeling when we think of, can I actually change? Feeling like you're constantly playing catch up, that's a massive source of stress. Self-neglect is a massive source of stress, understandably. Not speaking your mind, not showing your authentic self, not being true to you, not setting boundaries or sharing how you feel or what you need, that is a huge source of stress. And all of this stress, we're just in this constant cycle of just trying to get rid of it, trying to cope with it, trying to just get it done so that we can finally relax. And of course, that day never comes, because all of this cycle that we are in is built off the belief that you are too much or you are not enough. And this cycle is built on just us trying to cope with that. And we use chronic skin picking and hair pulling and nail biting to soothe and help us to cope with the pressure and the weight of that cycle, because it's heavy and exhausting. And unless we connect to our empowered self and start building a new foundation from there, new cycles that are based on slowing down, self-care, boundaries, loving yourself, nurturing yourself, allowing yourself the space to grow and explore and to make mistakes. The foundation of that is, I am worthy as I am. I am enough as I am. And that foundation and those cycles in themselves, they are soothing. When we show up in life with that kind of foundation and we live and we work on living in those cycles themselves are soothing, and we don't need our body-focused repetitive behavior to help us cope with that cycle, because the cycle itself is, I'm going to say it again, soothing. And we are not replacing the new cycle for the old. We are simply giving ourselves the time and the space to build this new foundation, this new reality for you, this new truth, and allow that to become your default. Right now, the old pattern is your default on some level. We want to get really clear, really specific on what this new pattern is, what this new foundation is, so that we can work on building that and making that your new default. So that when stress and overwhelm triggers you to fall back into old patterns, you have a path and you have tools and you have a way to ground yourself back in to you, into that deep feeling of worthiness. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how we heal from chronic skin picking, hair pulling, and nail biting. That is how I healed. Those are the 5 questions that will help you to understand what you can focus on today to help you to start to make real change, to really truly heal your BFRB on a core level, so that you can get yourself to a space where you are not afraid of falling back into this behavior. And here is the very, very special thing that I want to share with you. I have created a form that you can fill out. It's a holistic assessment where you answer these 5 questions, and I will send you my personal insights on what this says about you and what you should focus on. And if I have a resource that can help you, I will share that resource with you as well. If you want that clarity and that certainty, go ahead and click on the link in the show notes and fill out that form. It is totally free. And if you are listening to this after this week, you can sign up to receive an email for when I'm doing this assessment again. So if you want to make sure that you get a notification so that you can fill out your form the next time it is available, make sure you go in and put your details in so I can send you the email when that time comes. And now I'm going to quickly share with you why I've changed the name of this podcast once again. This, I believe, is the third and final time. The reason why I changed it from untapped confidence to beyond skin picking and hair pulling is because I am very, very passionate about helping you heal. And building my confidence is one of those things that has helped me to heal from chronic skin picking. But the main thing that we're focusing on is helping you to heal from skin picking and hair pulling. But if I name this podcast Untapped Confidence, it makes it harder for people like you to find me. I know what it was like when I was struggling with skin picking. I wasn't concerned about my confidence. I knew I didn't have confidence then, but that wasn't the problem that I was wanting to focus on. If I was looking for support, I was typing in how to stop skin picking, support for skin picking. I was posting on Reddit forums, asking people like, what can I do? How can I heal from this? Does anyone have any suggestions? And with that in mind, I know that you have probably done the same. And I know that there are many people who are typing into Spotify, iTunes, into Google, into social media, skin picking, hair pulling, nail biting, how to stop, support. And I want to make sure that I reach those people. That is why I've changed the name once again, because I want to make sure that I am serving this community in the absolute best way possible. And that means people need to be able to find me. People need to be able to find this shit. That is all. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey of building this podcast, this business, changing the names a few times. It's really lovely that we get to grow together. I wish you an absolutely wonderful week, and I will see you next Tuesday for the next episode of Beyond Skin Picking and Hair Pulling.